Hey guys, it's Vishali. So I am at Stamford Bridge. I have watched a thrilling game between Chelsea and Manchester United. Now I'm recording this a little bit later on than I would normally do on match days because basically we've been kicked out and it's been a manic day. There was so much to do from that game in terms of my coverage for the Evening Standard, and you know, a lot of it was down to that fracas on the touchline involving Jose Mourinho. Wow, you just knew something like this was going to happen. Not a fracas, but there was going to be some incident involving Jose Mourinho back at his former ground that was going to grab the attention. Now, to be fair, it wasn't his fault. He reacted angrily to one of Sarri's assistant coaches basically celebrating in the Manchester United technical area, but he reacted really angrily. You know, the whole thing had to be separated by stewards. Now I'll tell you what it's like for us, because us journalists, we sit behind the dugout. Actually, my favourite seat is just behind the players' tunnel. So I saw Mourinho getting involved in the whole thing, but I didn't know what had actually happened. We found out afterwards what had happened, and Mourinho basically said that the staff member apologised to him. Sarri said he would deal with it internally, and Sarri said as well that the whole thing will be dealt with. He wants to speak to his assistant coach to find out what was wrong, but he did say that Chelsea weren't in the wrong. You know, his assistant coach was in the wrong for celebrating so wildly. Now, why was he celebrating like that? Because it was Ross Barkley who salvaged a point for Chelsea with his 96th minute equaliser. Wow, I mean, I have been so impressed with Ross Barkley, I have to say. He has improved so much this season under Sarri, sorry for the slightly dodgy camera work there. I've been so impressed with him. Look, he scored now his second goal in 2 games, and I just think he's shown such a good attitude since coming to Chelsea. He came off the back of a really serious injury. He had to take time because, you know, to try and get into Antonio Conte's plans. He couldn't do that because of what was going on in the pitch. But he spent pre-season really working on his fitness, and he's come back, and now he says that he really understands tactically what is being asked of him by Sarri, and he is flourishing. You know, and he had a really good international break for England. This is good news for England as well as Chelsea. And you know, my last vlog was basically about, you know, whether or not he would push Kovacic for that starting spot. Well, he is pushing Kovacic for a starting spot because of his form, the fact that now he's adding goals to his really impressive performances. So I was really happy to see him score later on for Chelsea. Chelsea remain unbeaten, but you have to also look at the positives for Manchester United, because I'll go the long way actually. They showed a really good positive performance off the back of that comeback win against Newcastle before the international break. They were threatening, they were within seconds from walking away with their first win since 2012-2013 when Sir Alex Ferguson retired. They couldn't do that in the end, but I think the fact that Anthony Martial scored twice, it shows you just how much he's thrown himself into Mourinho's reckoning in terms of starting week in, week out. He's keeping Alexis Sanchez on the bench now, and rightly so based on his form. All in all, it was a thrilling game. It always is between Chelsea and Manchester United, especially when Jose Mourinho is involved. Now, my next game is another Chelsea game. You know, it's interesting. I know I told you guys that I won't be covering Chelsea that much this season, but I am covering them quite a lot still because they're playing so well, obviously. And that is against Bate Borisov in the Europa League. I will be at Chelsea's training session the day before, so watch out for my pre-game vlog then, and don't forget to hit subscribe. See you then.